For years, many women's basketball players have been stuck playing basketball in men's shoes, and playing in shoes that aren't properly designed for you can make players more injury prone. But a native New Yorker, she has attempted to fix this problem and has done so. Her name is Natalie White. She is the founder of Moolah Kicks, and she joins me now. Natalie, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, great to have you here. Heard about your work for quite some time, so glad to be able to talk to you. So Natalie, let's start with this. Moolah Kicks is the only performance basketball shoe made exclusively for women. How did creating Moolah Kicks come about for you, and what was the inspiration to start a sneaker line?
Moolah Kicks was founded 3 years ago when I was struck by an ad where I saw 4 WNBA players holding out and promoting sneakers named after their NBA counterparts, right? A game that wasn't theirs. And when I saw it, I think the ad really sent a message, which is, what are we teaching the next generation of female basketball players, of girls and women in this sport? And as I dug into the issue, it's clear that not only is there a social implication, but there's a performance implication as well, because the female foot form differs from the male foot form in 4 key areas. And when we as female hoopers are wearing men's, children's, and unisex sneakers, we're actually more at risk for the knee, ankle, and leg injuries that are so common in women's basketball. So in 2020, I founded Moolah Kicks to be the brand built by and for female ballers.
Yeah, and it definitely was necessary. You talked about the social implications as well there too, Natalie, because a study that comes from Yale Medicine found that ACL tears, ankle tears, and stress fractures are all more common in female athletes. And the study also showed that women, as you just mentioned, wearing men's sneakers are more injury prone. So knowing that data, Natalie, when you look to design shoes for Moolah Kicks, what did you have to change in the design to attempt to reduce injuries for female athletes?
There's a saying in footwear that the shoe starts with the last, and essentially the last is this inner form that dictates what the inside of the sneaker, how it fits, how it's molded. And that last can either mirror the female biomechanical form or a male biomechanical form, or a children's, really any type of form. And so what we did is we combined research with player input specific to basketball to create a inner last that is fit biomechanically to serve the female baller.
All right, well done there. Again, much needed. This feels like something that needed to be done quite some time ago, but glad that you've done it and thought about it. And so now that you've got the product, right, and it's out there, sneakers are out there, what has the process been like for you getting visibility and then distribution for your sneakers? And also, how is Moolah Kicks growing in what is a very competitive sneaker market?
Oh my gosh, it's been incredible. Well, first of all, women's basketball has been growing through the roof. And when the company was founded in 2020, the most recent NCAA national championship for women's basketball had about 3.6 million average viewers. If you fast forward to this most recent, the exact same event, we're grossing 9.6 million average viewers on that very same game. And so the explosion in women's basketball, you can feel. And it's because of brands like Moolah Kicks, this push towards seeing women's basketball as a game that is to be celebrated for the talent, the hype, and kind of this Showtime energy that we're delivering in of itself. And our partnership with Dick's Sporting Goods has been absolutely instrumental in helping us grow, because from 2021 to 2022, we expanded from 140 into 450 stores. And now we're so excited to be releasing some even new gear this 2023 season.
Exciting times. That is tremendous growth right there. So you got to be excited about that for sure. Now, you also have several female athletes who wear your shoes. What's some of the feedback that you've received from these women? Because you talked to me about getting input from different women and different athletes when it came to making these shoes. But now women who've worn these shoes, what are you hearing from them about your kicks?
It's everything. We have Courtney Williams, our WNBA player, and something she always points out is that previously she was really accustomed to wearing one pair of shoes for the entire season and having this quote unquote break-in period. But with Moolah, it requires no break-in. She can wear a different pair every game. We hear the same thing from the pro level all the way down to elementary school kids who are trying basketball for the first time, and every level in between, that when they're wearing Moolah Kicks, the bottoms of your feet don't burn, the tops of your toes don't hit the top of your shoes, and it takes no time to quote unquote break the shoes in. And essentially, what all the players are recognizing is that, wow, this is how a basketball shoe should fit. This is what it means to say these shoes are built for you.
Yeah, that's great. The break-in period for shoes, all hoopers know this, not a fun thing to have to deal with at all, and obviously affects women in a different way. So having those custom shoes are so necessary in that way. So other thing I want to talk to you about, because you mentioned this just now about some things coming for Moolah Kicks. I understand there's some big things underway. You've got 2 new shoes that are going to be dropping and an expansion into apparel. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
As of today, October 12th, we now are excited to announce we have a sneaker for every single position on the floor, and we are the first to do it in the women's game. We have our model, the triple double, built with a TPU unit on the arch, giving extra stability for those bigs and forwards. We have our Neovolt low model with a low top silhouette that gives you that quick first step for guards. And of course, we have our Neovolt mid model that was extremely popular last year with a webbing lacing system that molds to your foot. We're also coming out with a full line of performance apparel, and headlining it is a compression set that has the first of its kind proprietary foam padding on the rib cage and hips so that you can absorb impact as you're going up. And this is really the next step in continuing to have products that are built specifically biomechanically to elevate the women's basketball game.
I love it. I love the apparel. I love that there's footwear for every position on the basketball court. This is really exciting stuff that I think is going to help a lot of women's hoopers out there. Last thing for me, Natalie, there's so much great work that you've done here, and we're seeing an increase, as you mentioned, in exposure and interest in women's sports. What's next for Moolah Kicks? Where do you see the company going in, say, the next 5 to 10 years? What's next for you guys?
We're going to continue doing what we're doing. Shoes on the feet of as many girls, women's basketball players, female hoopers as possible, because it's been incredible these past 3 years to go from an idea to where we are now with this full line of apparel coming out, 60 athletes, footwear for every position, 2 WNBA players. It feels almost unbelievable, and I think we're just so excited to continue to stay close to this women's basketball community. We exist to serve them, continue to deliver the best performing products that are biomechanically built for her.
Oh, Natalie, you're doing fantastic work. I think there'll be a lot more women professional athletes wearing your sneakers very soon. That is Natalie White, the founder of Moolah Kicks. Go check her out. Pick up some kicks if you need to, for sure. Check out the new kicks that she's coming out, as well as her apparel. Natalie, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it. We'll do this again soon.
Thanks for having me.